Okay. Hey, everybody. Today is Tuesday, June 4th, 7 p.m. Central Time. Is day 2 of the 5-day fitness chatbot challenge. Just to recap real quick, if you weren't here yesterday or you're just joining us, or if you were here yesterday and want to remember what we did yesterday, using our CRM, GoHighLevel, and our chatbot tool, CloseBot, we are creating a conversational AI solution for a yoga studio that offers group classes, private sessions, and a program to become a yoga instructor. So there'll be 3 different services they offer. And based on the services they offer, based on what the bot is going to route to a slightly different calendar. So you're going to learn some advanced features. And finally, the yoga studio is going to have a product to sell, probably just a yoga mat we're going to focus on, and we're going to integrate that with the bot, which I'll show you in a second, that we talked about yesterday. Real quick, we used an AI tool called BrandSnap to get a domain name for this fictitious yoga company. It's called Harmony Hatha. It looks like this. This is a stock GoHighLevel site. This isn't a website class, so I'm not going to really do anything with this other than add the product and the live chat widget, which you see here. Okay, so this is how we're going to talk to our chatbot, our CloseBot chatbot. But as you'll see, this integrates with all the other social media tools instantly. You don't have to do extra work. I'll show you that when we're all set up. Okay. And this widget here, this little live chat widget, you could put it on any website. So if you have a client that doesn't have GoHighLevel, you could still put this on their website, which is really cool. Okay. And then we started wireframing what it is we're going to build. All right. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to start building what I wireframed, which is this. So before I get going and start flying, because this is a quick class, are there any questions from yesterday? Anyone need any clarification? Great. Okay, cool. So what we're building today is we're going to build the receptionist bot for this yoga studio. And lots of companies need a receptionist bot to answer the leads, qualify them a bit, and hopefully schedule them for a follow-up call appointment with the salesperson to close the deal. In addition, you could obviously also have the bot offer a product to buy directly, which we're also going to do. So our bot is going to work like this. It's going to ask standard contact info. If it already knows this info, it's going to skip it. And I pasted this document that I'm looking at. It's in this workflow document. Let me paste this again into the chat. So this is a free document. This is a free tool that I'm using. I always use it to make my flowcharts and my notes and my lists. So let me paste that in here. Oh, I see some chat. Oh, those are people, recorders telling me. So weird. Okay. So I just pasted the link to this document so you all can see it as well. Okay, so we're looking at this Lucid chart file, which I've shared through here. Anyone can look at it. And this is going to be just contact info, skip if gathered, it's called, meaning if it already knows this, it's going to skip it. Okay, and that's easy, very easy to do in CloseBot. Then it's going to say, once it knows their name and stuff, it's going to say, what service are you looking for? And we're have these different services, right? And all these different things, hot yoga, hatha yoga, power yoga, blah, blah, blah. All these different things here that it does and the different types of classes they have. We're going to make a knowledge base for that in CloseBot for the bot. And this is all how the bot's going to work. And then we're going to have 3 different calendars that we're going to create that will be routed to based on their answer to if they're looking, what kind of class they're looking for. But it'll also know what service they're looking for. Okay. And then it's going to thank them for scheduling. And then it's going to say, do you want to buy a yoga mat? I don't need this, sorry. So it's going to say they want to buy a yoga mat. If they say yes, we're going to give them a link to the product. If they say no, we're going to try to get them to buy again. Get them to try to buy. We're going to do it 3 times. So if they say no, we're going to really try to get the bot to nudge them into buying, including offering a coupon for the product, which would be cool. So this is kind of like an abandoned cart bot, which I said we might get to, which is at the bottom here, meaning if they go to the product page and they fill out their name like you do on any store, if you leave without paying, that's called an abandoned cart. And the bot will reach out to them and say, hey, you left without checking out. If you want to try again? No, they say no. You can go, oh, you want 10% off? You can be like, oh, cool. Here you go. Here's your link. So we're going to do something like that here for the yoga mat. Then once that is over with, we're going to do a daily affirmation. We're going to ask them if they want to get daily affirmations. And what that is, that's going to be a different bot for the affirmation bot, which is going to look like this. And it's going to go through and it's going to basically, if it doesn't know their name, email, and phone, it's going to ask it, but it will know it because it came from the reception bot. Then it's going to say, what kind of affirmation do you want? Then it's going to say, do you want SMS or email? What time of day or night you want it? And then it's going to start doing the affirmations based off of how they asked to receive them and what it's supposed to be about by creating a separate ChatGPT call within the CloseBot workflow, which you'll see out of the workflow. It's going to be cool, high end. Okay. And then here's this abandoned car bot, which we're really not going to build specifically, but it's kind of what we're doing. We're going to do here. If they say no to the yoga mat, we're going to try to get them to buy it and then give them a coupon code. Okay. And then once they do the daily affirmation, yep, that's it. So this is going to be a combination of two bots. So I'm going to build a reception bot and I'm going to build an affirmation bot. And I'm going to have one bot route to the other bot. Okay. So it's going to route to the affirmation bot. So here's what we're doing. It's going to respond, qualify, schedule, sell a product, route to confirmation. Okay. All right, cool. Let's go. So reception bot. So now I'm going to go into CloseBot. We have GoHighLevel open. Let me go to my Hatha Yoga or Harmony Hatha account. So this is my GoHighLevel sub account here. When I set this up, I started it from a snapshot from CloseBot, which is this. So it's going to have some data in there. So this is CloseBot. This is the chatbot builder that we're going to be using, the conversational AI tool. And I already started this. So yesterday you saw me start a fresh bot here. We called it Harmony Hatha Reception. Okay, so now we're going to get into CloseBot. All right, so this is CloseBot. On the left, you see all the tools. This is my dashboard for this particular bot. Nothing's happened yet, so I have no data. Don't worry about the pricing and stuff up here. This is just data for you to know once you get your account. But I guess if you do want to know, you prepay for some credits that CloseBot charges you. AI is not free to run, so just be aware. But it's cheap, super cheap. Modify bot is where you actually modify the bot. We're going to do that next. Knowledge storage is where you have your knowledge base. And test your bot is where you can test your bot in CloseBot, but it's somewhat limited, which is why we're going to test it live on our website. Okay. The rest of the stuff is really irrelevant for purposes of this course. Okay. So I'm going to jump right into this brand new reception bot we created. I'm going to jump into modify bot. When you start a bot in CloseBot, you have to pick a template. So I picked the fitness template just to get started. So it's kind of pre-populated, but I'm going to edit everything. So going from left to right in this menu here, the general menu is where you give your bot a label. You might have a ton of bots like I do, and you need to label them well. Your bot gets a name. Like, what do you call yourself? If someone asks the bot what your name is, it's going to say Harmony. This is Harmony Hatha. Response delay. Do you want the bot to delay its response? Like if someone texts the bot, do you want to delay the response back? I never do that because usually it's like 14 to maybe 30 seconds, unless it got faster. So it's delayed enough to look human. You could limit the bot usage. I disregard that. This stop for upset lead button is on by default. I turn it off. And what it means is if someone appears upset to the bot, it stops working. The bot turns itself off. And it's a little sensitive right now. So I turn that off. And we're not going to do this, but in my other challenges, I show you how to look for trigger words like stop, quit. I want to talk to someone and do something else. We're not doing that here, but just know you want to turn this off because sometimes your bot will stop working when you're testing it and you don't know why. And it sometimes is this. Okay. Stop when all objectives are done. This is off by default. And this literally means the bot will turn off once it's reached all the objectives. I don't want that. I like my bots to keep going and going because this is a demo. So I leave that on. But if you I leave that off. If you turn it on, it does save money because you're not making these calls, to the chat bot. Multi-objective handling is new to CloseBot. And what it means is that you could ask, what is your name and phone number in one objective? I think. I haven't used this yet. So we may explore that in this class. This is new and it's supposed to be really cool. You can change the model that you use between two GPTs. I wouldn't mess with it. frequency. You could add typos and break up larger messages so they can look like more humans doing it. I usually don't mess with it. You could even put in words that you don't want the bot to say. For instance, if you are in real estate or in finance and using a bot, there's certain things you're not allowed to say you just can't say on an initial outreach or lead gen, things like make money, or I don't know what the exact words are, but you can put them in here. And then I save my changes as I go through these different settings here. So we're going to go through these real quick. I'm going to hit save real quick. Integrate, we did yesterday. Integrate is how you connect it to GoHighLevel. We did this yesterday. I just hit connect and find your GoHighLevel account. I want to put in my OpenAI key, so bear with me for 1 second, please. Let me find my OpenAI key.
Hey Josh, while you do the key, I was curious yesterday. You're integrating with GoHighLevel. There's obviously OpenAI. I'm curious, like you've talked about reviewing other chatbots and other people in your classroom have comments on those. You did a poll about it. Like, is GoHighLevel compatible with other chatbots, or is this just mainly the only one?
Yes. So well, no, that's not accurate. Well, a lot of the chatbots that are out there, like Agent Centric and ManyChat or Zappy Chat and AppointWise, and there's a bunch of them. They all integrate with GoHighLevel. A lot of these bots are offering snapshots to integrate with GoHighLevel because it really is like the marketing tool that everyone's using. You could utilize this with, Salesforce or HubSpot, either through GoHighLevel and webhooks, which is a way more advanced technique, which I'm not going to do here, using this external webhook integration, which I've never done from CloseBot. So there are advanced ways to not use GoHighLevel with bots, but all the bots usually do use GoHighLevel. At least that's what I've seen lately.
Okay, but that's confusing to me. The bots use GoHighLevel. I thought you connect from GoHighLevel to the bot, and I only see like CloseBot there.
Right.
No,
Let's say that I use a different tool.
My bad. Sorry. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah. So let's say I use Zappy Chat, which is a different tool for chatting that connects with GoHighLevel. If I can use CloseBot with another tool that's not GoHighLevel possibly, but it's really harder because it doesn't come with a snapshot. So I mentioned when I set up our account in GoHighLevel, I started it from a snapshot. Whenever you set up your bot, or if it's your very first bot, you're going to get a snapshot link here in integration from GoHighLevel. Looks like this. You've all seen it. This allows you to import the CloseBot snapshot only into GoHighLevel. It doesn't go into anything else.
Got it. Thank you so much.
This snapshot only works with GoHighLevel, which is why I'm using GoHighLevel most of the time, because a lot of the tools come with GoHighLevel snapshots. It just makes life so easy, and then I can make snapshots, etc. So,
and I guess some bots can work with just webhooks as well.
Some can. I don't use them. Yeah. It's a way more advanced tool. I mean, you can do everything you want in webhooks and going in and out and doing API. You can do everything you want as workflows in GoHighLevel with ChatGPT alone. I've seen it. So
cool. Well, I'm curious to see what you're about to show. So that was very cool when you were talking about that. So I'm just gonna watch that too.
Okay, cool. So once you import this snapshot, which is available here, you'll have it in your GoHighLevel too. So you could start your account from that, your sub accounts from that, or you can load it into an existing sub account. Okay. And then just real quick, all you get is there's no custom variables. There's nothing like that. All you get is automations, which is what makes GoHighLevel amazing. And it allows you to program all these tools and stuff that are on the side menu here. You could program them and automate things. And it really takes this to a whole nother level, which only tools like Salesforce and HubSpots and things that are a lot more expensive, frankly, can do. So this is the CloseBot snapshot, and I'll explain it really quickly, and then we're going to go back to CloseBot and build this bot. There are 3 main steps to have your bot work once you connect it to CloseBot in GoHighLevel. And what I mean by work is that it will work here in this live chat widget. And if I were to have connected my Facebook to this account, which I'm not really going to do, that isn't this class, I've done it in all my other classes, then the bot will take over controlling the messenger bot too. Same thing with your TikTok bot or your TikTok messenger or your Instagram messenger, and the web chat messenger, which is the live chat, an SMS, and email. So it really can handle all communication channels, and I'm going to show you that in a second. So when you get your snapshots from GoHighLevel, step 2 is in draft mode. In order for the bot to work, you need to turn this to publish. I'm going to publish it, and this is not a really how to use GoHighLevel class in terms of workflows and automation. So hopefully, if you've never done this, you can follow along. But if you've seen GoHighLevel, you know what I'm doing. So again, CloseBot comes with this snapshot. Step 1, so you see how this works. When someone sends in, let's say someone sends a message to this live chat, it's going to come into GoHighLevel here. This is a trigger. So you'll see there's a trigger called chat. So if someone replies from the live chat channel, this is built into GoHighLevel, which makes this amazing. These are all the other channels that we'll handle. It sets some fields and it sets some types and it does some things here. I'm not going to get into exactly what it does here because we're not going to mess with step 1. But this is kind of what kicks it off. And you can see all the triggers. These are all the channels that we'll handle. SMS, Google My Business, which is being turned off at the end of the month, apparently by Google, so that's irrelevant. Facebook, WhatsApp it will do, which is huge for Europe. Email, Instagram, and live chat. Okay. Then what it does is it goes from step 1, which you don't ever need to mess with, into step 2. And this is all we're going to mess with as we make our bot. And you can disregard what the trigger is, because basically what it does is this webhook here, you asked about webhooks. This is the webhook that gets triggered to go back to CloseBot to make it have it do its magic. Okay. And you don't have to touch anything. It's all set up. It all works out of the box and it's fantastic. And I'll show you how it works out of the box. Okay. So we have this bot that we set up. And if I go to main, this is where you prompt the bot. And I'm not going to edit the bot. We're going to test it first just to make sure it's hooked up. Right now, this conversation is happening. This is how CloseBot likes to be prompted. You give it 3 main prompts. There's limits on the characters. So the conversation is happening. This is why. So this bot is supposed to act as a CrossFit gym manager named. This is a CloseBot variable that is this lead name or this bot name, but we'll get into that later. So this just says why the conversation is happening. This is some business information. We'll talk about the knowledge base in a second. So you can tell, we'll talk about the yoga studio here. And this is how you want the bot to respond. This is where you give the bot rules like don't talk about pricing, always be extra nice, etc., etc. In addition, you can give your bot like a voice, a tone, the way that it interacts with people by turning on and off variables here to really fine tune how it responds. And you can do that very quickly. So I'm just going to leave it at caring and relax for now because for purposes of this demo, it's irrelevant. Okay. Okay. So this is the prompting that you have to give the bot so it kind of knows why it exists, a little bit about itself and how it should respond. And then we need to make the bot. And we talked about how in my Lucid chart, I have like a horizontal workflow, right? That's the same thing that we have in CloseBot, right? It's just a horizontal workflow of objectives. And we're going to change these around. We're going to change these objectives around to match name, phone, email, service, calendar. So we're going to do that in a second, but we do want to test this bot. So right now, what the bot's going to do is it's going to find out the reason that the lead, me, is reaching out to start fitness. Okay. And then it's going to say, what's your timeline? And I didn't write these objectives. These are what come with the bot. We're going to totally redo these from scratch. So you'll see exactly how it's done. And then it's going to say openness to getting diet help. Fine. So we'll test this out. We're going to test it 2 ways. First, you test your bot really quickly right in the CloseBot interface by hitting test your bot. Here's my bot here. I'll clear the cache so it's empty. Now just say hello. And the bot's going to respond. So while it's doing that, I will also look here. So there, remember we have this Harmony Hatha thing, this page, and I already added live chat to it. So now, if I say hi, hello, it should say something similar. Now, we're going to get rid of this instant response that came from the live chat widget from GoHighLevel. So disregard that, but you got to do it. We'll tweak that in later. This is just a quick get it on the page, test it out. show the client even how far you've gotten, right? So I'll give it a few seconds. So I'll keep testing over on the left. This is the test widget inside of CloseBot directly. So it says, looking for a change in routine. I'll just say yes. Cool. So here's what CloseBot said on the live chat widget over there on the website. It's similar, right? Is, what inspires you to start thinking about fitness? Is it more about exercise? So it's going to go through those workflows. Okay. But before it gets too confusing, are there any questions? Because I'm going to move on really fast. No? Okay, cool. All right. So now, let's build this bot. So in CloseBot, you have, go back to modify bot, and I need to match this. So I'm building this. Okay. So let's do this really quickly. So the way you work in CloseBot is I'm going to erase this objective. These brown boxes, when you click on them, they open up and you can see the objective builder. Each objective gets a title. That's the bot doesn't care what the title is. It's more for your use and inside of GoHighLevel, as you'll see in a minute. And then here is the only prompting you need to tell the bot to complete the objective. Really simple. So I know that I want name, phone, and email. Underneath the prompting for the objective itself, it's like a micro prompt. You have the fields that you can auto update from GoHighLevel. So this is once I connect GoHighLevel to my bots, I have access to all my fields for all of my contacts in GoHighLevel. It's amazing. So I want to find out their name and I want to update the name field. And CloseBot automatically puts in the right prompting for me. And there's a checkbox here that says skip the objective if the field is already filled out. I turn this on. So if it already knows their name, it'll skip it. It won't ask the question twice. And that's really helpful to do right in CloseBot. You don't have to make any extra workflows. Maximum attempts is off. So it's going to keep asking their name again and again, or it'll really try hard to find out their name. You could add how many times it'll try. The default is 2, so it would only have asked twice. We'll do this for other objectives, not the name objective. And there's 2 types of objectives. The basic one is the gather info, where it asks a question, tries to find out something, and usually fills out a field for that contact, because that's what the bot is trying to do, right? It asks information. Receptionist should write down their name and write down their email. The bot's going to do the same exact thing. Okay. So I'm going to close that. I need to add 2 more objectives. So I'm going to add phone. All I got to do is look for the phone one. CloseBot will fill some of these fields out. Not all of them, but a few of the basic fields CloseBot will fill out. And I'm going to close, and I'm going to skip it again if it knows.
By the way, Josh, we had a conversation side convo about like if the bot, when you opened it, it had just a form field for all this info, so the AI didn't have to communicate it. And it's actually a feature request in GoHighLevel.
People were requesting this because you had to have a separate workflow. So if you're new to CloseBot, it's awesome. You don't have to do this. It's much easier now. You used to have to write a special workflow and GoHighLevel. It was a big kind of a pain to do, and this makes it much easier. So I'm going to do this with email. Okay, so now those are the 3 questions I need to ask, and it's going to skip the contact info if it already knows it. So that's correct. Okay, so I'll just say I like to save my changes often. So the way that CloseBot works is you can have as many objectives as you want per priority lane, as you'll see in a second. Andre, what's up?
Yeah, quick question. If you're doing this through email and you need his name, phone number, let's say website or whatever, is the bot going to scan the thread of email or the email? And for example, let's say in the signature, the company name is there, the address is there.
No, that's that's a different thing. You could do it with the bot. So to do that, you would need to separate from CloseBot, have ChatGPT do that and fill out fields, then go back to CloseBot. So that's a really advanced technique that we're not really going to show. I'm not going to showcase that. I will do it a tiny bit though.
Okay, because I need that.
I bet.
I need that through email. Yeah.
Yeah, that's advanced. You need to get out of CloseBot, do stuff. You could have ChatGPT fill out. There's so many advanced techniques. I mean, some of these are proprietary to my business and my partner, so I can't show everything, unfortunately. But I'll go as far as I can. All right, in 5 hours. All right, dude. All right. Cool. So now it got the name, phone, and email. These priority lanes work like this. It's going to ask these questions. It's going to ask the questions in order vertically of how the bot thinks they should be asked. It's not alphabetical or anything. So that's just kind of how it works, but it usually works fine. Then it goes to the next lane and so on. So it won't move down those lanes until all the questions in the previous lane have been answered, which is what really gives guardrails to CloseBot that other tools don't have. that just have one long prompt for the bot, which is lots of tools. Just one super long prompt. Others handle it better, but CloseBot handles it very well. Okay, so I know that I want to find out what type of service they have. And if you remember, now we're going to get a little bit more complex. Okay, so I want the services to come from a knowledge base. So our services are, let's see. No, these aren't services. Well, these are services, and these are types, like class types. And I'm separating these on purpose because you're going to see I'm going to make custom fields in GoHighLevel, which is very powerful, and it's going to really take our bot to the next level. This is not a basic bot class. This is a kind of an advanced bot class. Okay, so here I go. So in GoHighLevel, I know that I need to make some custom fields. Okay, and this is not a GoHighLevel class. So a custom field. So first, I like to make a folder just to make it easier to see, so I can group things. We'll call this yoga bot or fitness bot because that's the name of the class, fitness bot. And when you get the snapshot, you're going to get these custom fields. So look for that folder. Okay, so I'm going to make new fields. So this first field is I need a list of the services that my business offers. Okay, so here's my list. And in order to put a list in, I personally like to do the single drop down. You could use radio select or any type of a list element. This is the form element, but they're not going to actually see the form. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, so I'm going to choose this drop down list with a single selection type. So normally you'd see a pull down menu. You could select one item. That's the field type I created, but I'm only using it for purposes of data. And I'll show you what I mean. So this field, I want to call it services. That's what these are called. These are our services. I want to put it in the FitnessBot group for ease of classifying and organizing. And then all I got to do is put in each of my services as a line item. Hot yoga, Hatha yoga, yoga for beginners, and yoga for kids. Okay, cool. And then we have, that's fine for this demo. Okay, cool. So now when I save this, every contact will have this field associated with it. And you'll see what I mean when I show you how the contact was created. I know that I need to add another field. Okay. So I'm also going to add, so what service, based on the service they want, and then I'm going to say, do you want a group class or private session? I'm going to take this become an instructor off. It's a little complex. We don't need to do that. I'm going to do, so I got to add a step here. My flow chart. I want to add a step to my flow chart, which is, class type. And class type is private or group. Okay. So now I need to make another field in GoHighLevel for this one, class types. And I'll do the drop down single. I'll do class types. Save in FitnessBot. And the first type is group class, private session. Okay. Save that. All right, cool. So now when I go back to CloseBot, let me close this for a second. I got to refresh this page real quick because it needs to see the refreshed fields from GoHighLevel. And I'll show you what I mean in a second. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to the objectives. We haven't written the main yet, so the bot doesn't know about Hatha yoga or anything. All right. I'm building it, which is this. Okay. So here's the objectives. Here's where we were. So let me get rid of that. I get rid of this. Okay. So now we're on. So we did name, phone, email. Now we're doing service type. I'm going to make a new objective, and I'll call it service type. Then all I'm going to say is find out what service, and I'll word that better because it's a yoga studio, not like not a card mechanic. I know what service they are interested in. I'll say what class. Oh, that's fine for now. Okay, the extra prompt I don't need. That's how awesome CloseBot is. You don't need to do extra prompting. Now, remember I said that we loaded up the Go High Level fields. Here they are here. So if I go down, there's services. So what it does is when it asks this question, and it's going to, maybe I'll have to reword it so it sounds more yoga-y, but it's going to ask, what service are you looking for? We'll say Hatha Yoga. Okay. And it knows what services it can actually accept based on the contents of that field we created called services, right? So this does two things. It limits the bot in terms of what the answers can be to pass the objective, and it allows the bot to set this field for us so that when we look at the contact, we can see what service type they want, right? So it allows us to use the setting of the field that the bot will set later in emails or whatever we want, like you would in any contact in any CRM, all right? So I don't want to skip this. I need to know this. Max attempts, many, unlimited, close. Okay, the next one we want is class type. Find out what type of class they want. And I'm going to go down to class types. And again, it's going to be limited to the answers of group class or private session. It's only going to accept those two. I could have done other, but I don't want other. I want these two. I'll do close. Let's save that. All right. So next, based on the calendar type, I already know that it's going to schedule onto one of two different calendars. Okay. So let's make those calendars right now. So in CloseBot, one of the amazing things it does is having a calendar you can present for your clients to schedule on automatically themselves. And conversational AI like CloseBot can also use your calendars to do conversational booking, meaning the bot will say, oh, we have times available at 12:30 tomorrow, 2:30, 3:30, which works best. So it works really well and it's very effective. But in order to do it, we need to create some calendars. So I click on the calendars. I'm going to create two calendars. The calendar settings, create calendar. I'm going to just do a regular old simple calendar, no big deal. We'll call this one group class calendar. This is a group class calendar. And you have to give it some sort of goofy name because it has to be unique to Go High Level, which is irritating. I just do some random gibberish. And this class, let's say this class is 90 minutes. And it's available on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Let's see, Saturday. It's open on Monday through Saturday. Sunday's closed. Classes are from 8 to 5, obvious, and classes are from 8 to 5. Okay. And I'll show you if I click advanced settings, you may be wondering, well, how does it know what classes are available? I'm not going to do this in this class, but if you have an Outlook calendar or a Gmail calendar, you integrate it with the account. So the Harmony Hatha would have a calendaring system of some sort that probably uses Outlook or Gmail like everyone else. You literally link to it, and then the bot will know what times are available, and it's got two-way syncing so that when the bot schedules on the Go High Level calendar, it updates your Outlook or Gmail calendar and vice versa. So that's how Go High Level can use its own calendaring system to work with your client's calendaring system. If they don't have a calendaring system, this is even better, but a lot of clients do. That was slightly advanced.
Sorry, just a quick question. I didn't see, did you use a simple calendar or a class?
I did. I'm using a simple calendar for this. There's a lot of advanced ways to do calendaring. What I'm trying to show right now is how to dynamically toggle between two calendars using a bot. Okay, cool. So, and this is just the advanced settings for this. You don't need to click on this. I just wanted to show you how you would actually connect your calendars to your real calendar so it knows what times are available, right? So I'm going to save this. I'm going to make one more calendar. I'm going to call it private class. So what she was asking is when you create a calendar, there's a lot of options. Go High Level is super robust. So there's service calendars, meaning like you could have different, if you're let's say you're a chiropractor and you have like massage and chiropractor and whatever, like different prices or different things, you could do that as well. And it groups them. Simple calendar is what it says. It's a very simple single calendar, and it works for what we're doing right now. Round robin is for if you have like a bunch of salespeople, it will route whose calendar is being connected to one after the other for like a sales team. It does class booking, which I'm not doing. These are relatively new in the last, I don't know, year maybe, so I don't use a lot of them. But again, Go High Level is like, it's the Swiss Army knife of everything. It's really incredible. So anyways, I made simple calendars, two of them. Make one more real quick. I'll just duplicate this one. All I got to do is change the name. Private class. And
It's the
then
Chinese cheap Swiss Army knife of everything.
it's a cheap Swiss Army knife. That's true. Salesforce is also a Swiss Army knife, but that's a really expensive one. Go High Level, if you are all in on Go High Level, it's $497 a month. It's really not a lot of money. If you, it's really, it replaces thousands of dollars worth of stuff. So it's really amazing. Okay, so this is our private class calendar. I need to do one more thing, two more things actually. And this is a little, not a secret technique, but it's fun. So I'm going to make another custom field. I want a field or a value. Yeah, I'm going to make a custom value. I want to make a custom value. So if I make this, I'm trying to think, I'm going to do a custom field. Custom values don't transfer with the snapshot, so I don't want to mess that up. So when you guys get this snapshot, you have to pay attention to do this part, okay? So now what I'm making is a custom field to hold the right calendar ID based on what the class type is. And you'll see me build a workflow to do this. If it doesn't make sense right now, but just trust me, it's going to work, okay? So I'm going to make a single line text input field. I'm going to call it calendar ID. See what I mean? I'm going to put this in my fitness bot folder, and that's it, okay? Now, what I want to do is I need to grab, well, I'm not going to make the workflow just yet. I'm just getting this all ready, okay? And then now I'm going to refresh this page because I added a new field type, so I want the bot to see it because you're going to see what I'm going to do next. Here we are. Okay, so we're on this step here. We're just going to be two possible calendars. This is going to be a workflow. Okay, so we're on here, objectives. So this one here, so it's going to ask the class type, and then it's going to switch a variable. We'll do this in the flow. So now we're going to schedule on the calendar. This is one of those fields that CloseBot will fill out data for you, fill out some stuff for you. So I hit calendar. I want to, so book, I'm going to change the default setting because it's a phone appointment. Book the class with, meaning it'll book the group class or the private class. Now here, see we have this calendar ID. What I'm going to do is in Go High Level, this calendar ID custom field, this is one of the things that makes this so powerful. Every field and every custom variable, which we're not using, or custom value, has a key to it. It's something that you can copy. So I'm going to copy this key here called contact.calendarID. Don't worry about what it's called. Just know that it's inside these mustache brackets, they're called. I copied that. I can now use this variable in CloseBot because they're connected, integrated, right? So I'm going to paste this into my custom variable here for the ID of the calendar. And when we make the workflow for the calendar, that's what's going to set this variable. The other way you could have done this is, sometimes it doesn't work. It just doesn't catch the first time, but you'll see your calendar show up here that I created manually, but you can only book on one calendar that way. This is going to allow us to book on one of two calendars based on a response from a previous question. Okay? All right, cool. Let's go. Boom. All right, so now once it's done booking, it's going to say thank you. So I think what I'm going to do is, because there is a limit of 6 priority lanes, and that does put a slight limitation on obviously how far you can take the one bot, you know, objective after objective after objective. But that's okay. I'm going to handle that by making 2 bots, maybe 3, which is why I said if you have CloseBot, you need more than one bot for sure. All right. So let me think here. So it's going to say, do you want to buy a yoga mat? This isn't enough room. This isn't enough room for me to do what I need to do for this yoga mat. And then also the affirmations and all this stuff. So I think I'm going to slightly switch this around, where it's going to do the affirmations first, because you'll see why when I build this thing. So it's going to ask for the affirmations first, and then we'll do this at the end, and you'll see why. This is free. And if affirmation bot gets us engaged, gets the customer engaged daily with your business, and it's cool. Okay. Okay, cool. So now it's going to schedule on the calendar, booking it's called. Now it's going to say, want to get daily affirmation? So this is priority 5. It's going to say, want affirmation is the title I'm giving this objective. It does, the bot doesn't see this. I'm going to say, ask the lead if they would like to receive daily affirmations to help them on their, yoga journey, whatever. Okay. Now I'm not going to map this to a field. I just want to know if it's yes or no. Okay. I'm going to save that. Okay. So now let's think how this is going to work. So now I know we're going to need another bot. So let me put this CloseBot window over here, and I'm going to duplicate this window.
Josh, for that first calendar for that booking, after the class type for the booking, what calendar did you link that to? The class type?
I didn't yet. All I did was I put a custom field in there, and I'm going to use GoHighLevel to set that custom field, and CloseBot's going to use the custom field as a dynamic calendar ID.
Got it.
So it's really slightly more powerful. We're using it right now. For instance, we have a pressure washing bot that asks what they want, then it says, oh, you want like solar panel cleaning, which is a huge thing in California, apparently. Like how many solar panels you have, are this size or this size? Are they on the roof or on the ground? And based on that, we do a little calculation, and CloseBot will, and then I'll have GoHighLevel change the calendar based on how many hours we're estimating it takes that appointment. So it really makes it, you could do a lot of cool things with it. A lot of this stuff is kind of like we're figuring it out as we go. So it's kind of like a hack. You know what I mean? It's not a hack, but like all these techniques that I'm showing you, you're like, no one else has done it. So who knows if they work, but they seem to work. So you could do a lot with it. There's so many things you could do because he keeps adding these features to CloseBot. Like that didn't exist a month ago or 2.
Yeah,
maybe
that custom value change really changed everything.
Right. You could do so much. And the direct integration without passing variables through. It's like, if you're learning CloseBot now compared to 2 months ago, it's so much easier even, really. So if you see the first chatbot challenge I did, it's changed since then. It's still valid. Everything is ports over, but it's gotten easier. Okay, so let's keep going. Yes, so I have 2 CloseBot windows open because I need to make another bot. So this bot is going to ask, do you want affirmations? And I'm going to, right now, the way CloseBot works, if I want to hand off or route from one bot to the next, I'm going to do it in 2 places. You do it in this step 2 of the automation, which we're going to learn. But more importantly, the way CloseBot works right now is you need to have like a question to act as like the handoff question into the next bot. As you see me make these 2 bots and build the router, it isn't as easy as just turning one off and the other off. You kind of need to hand off the bot from one to the other. So that's a technique I'm going to show you now. So the last question that's asked is, do you want affirmation, right? So the first question that I'm routing the bot to is going to ask the same question, but so that it can accept the answer. And I'll show you what I mean. Andre, what's up?
Yeah.
Andre?
Is your bot a service bot, or is it a bot for each service? So if you have multiple services,
I'm not routing. So yeah, when I do like pressure washing, the bot will ask, what kind of pressure washing do you want? I need my garage cleaned. I want my building cleaned. I want my.
That's different. Yeah.
That is different service type. So I'll do a router for that. But even that, I have this pass off question to go to the window washing pressure washing or the solar panel pressure washing. This handoff technique I'm going to show you will work for service questions. Everything you're about to see here works with anything you want to ask that connects to a list of stuff that gets routed.
Okay. So like fitness, if it's like nutrition, yoga, spinning, whatever.
Anything. All of my classes do the same technique. They all do the same handoff. And that's how it works for now. There's a V2 of CloseBot coming out, which is totally different. But for now, this is how it works.
So it's one.
But you need to know this technique, or else you won't understand why your bot's not routing. It's kind of routing, but not fully. And this is how you fix that.
Cool.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. So This reception bot, the last thing it's going to ask is, do you want to get daily affirmations, right? Then, so the next bot I need to create is the affirmation bot. So what I'm going to do is, before I do that, let's finish our reception bot. And the reason why is I want to finish this prompting here. So when I make the new bot, I don't have to do this again. Okay. So before we make the affirmation bot, I'm going to back up really quickly. I'm going to use ChatGPT to write all this stuff for me. Am I? Yes, some of it. And here, and I'll also use custom variables. I don't want to mess you guys up. I'm trying to think how you can do this a cooler way too, but watch this. So here's what I'm going to do. So why is the conversation happening? Okay, so let's use chat. Okay, so I'm going to say, please visit Harmony www. So I'm going to have it look at my website. This is ChatGPT directly, folks, not CloseBot or anything. I'm using this to write prompting. Okay. So please visit www.harmonyhatha.com and give me a summary for a chatbot to use for its knowledge base. And I know we talked about building a knowledge base, which we'll also do in CloseBot. This is just to get a blurb. And there's a million ways to do this. I suppose I could have written this by hand. I want to see if it'll do this. Oh, it does look on the web. God, it's amazing. Look at that. Wow.
It's crazy times we're living in right now.
Honestly, God, there hasn't been a day that I haven't blown my own mind with ChatGPT. Honestly, it's really crazy. And I don't know if it's good or bad, but I mean, I could have written that, but it would have taken a while. Gosh, cool. So I want to go to my, we have two windows open, so I'm going to go back here. I'm going to close this one. Okay, so I'm going to paste in this answer into important business information. And I'm going to say, okay, so now I'm going to write why the conversation is happening. I'm going to say, you are Harmony, the AI for, I don't care if they know if it's AI for this. You don't have to say that. I won't say that. We'll make it so they think it's real. You are Harmony, the owner of Harmony Hatha. And you are responding to customers who have reached out to you via a chat widget on a website. You'd put here what you want, right? It could be via SMS or social media, whatever. You can write this on your own. I've written 4 of these in my classes, so you can see these elsewhere as well. Okay. So here's why the conversation is happening. Here's the important business information, and here's how to respond. The default of this is usually pretty good, but you want to change. It's got like the name of the fake company that CloseBot gives you. So just change it in here. You could say, Harmony Hatha pricing depends on leads name. Okay, cool. So I like to keep in the basic stuff. And again, you could bring in these custom variables from GoHighLevel. All those things I showed you, like the mustache brackets. There's all sorts of amazing mustache brackets you could bring over from GoHighLevel, including the agency's information. So in terms of making dynamic bots, dynamic prompting, you can do that. And just to show you real quick what I mean by this is I'm going to take this chunk of information, I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go back to GoHighLevel real quick. I'm going to go to settings and I'll do something different. I'm going to make a custom value. And remember this, if you're watching this class, you need to remember this because this is going to be empty. I'm going to call this business info. This is a custom value. So this field, this will be there, but it will be empty, unlike the field. So I'm going to paste in this information. I'm pasting that right in here. Okay. And I'm going to put it in there's no folder, but that's fine. There's only one of these. So when you get this snapshot, if you want to change the business info, just change this and it'll automatically, because I'm going to use the variable, go into here. And I'll even do this. I'll even do this one just to make it easy for you. So I'll make another one. Why conversation happening. Paste that in there. Copy that. Put this in my bot here. And I'll do the same thing real quick. So you can change this for your business name, right? We'll call this, what was this called? It was called, how to respond. Okay, cool. How to respond, paste that in there. So these are custom values that you can change at will. But again, when you get the snapshot, when we're done here, these are going to be blank. Okay. So you'll need to fill these out yourself. And you could use examples from other CloseBot, like default templates to do it. All right. So let me copy this in here. No, it's how to respond. Copy that. Paste it in here. Cool. So now our bot's using custom variables to know how to respond, which is really cool. And it allows you to do all sorts of interesting automations and stuff. Now I'm going to copy this bot. Now I'm ready to copy the bot. So to copy the bot, all you got to do is hit this icon here. I'm going to copy the bot. And once you copy the bot, you still need to do two things. You still need to integrate it. See, it says V1. You don't want that. You want to connect it to V2. So I look for Hatha, Harmony Hatha. Give it a second. Kick in. So now it's connected to that sub account and GoHighLevel. It's got all those custom fields, just like the other bot that we made. Okay. And I need to change the name of the bot. So this is going to be Harmony Hatha affirmations. Okay. This is all default set. I got to do my OpenAI key. When you do your own OpenAI key, you save a third on the pennies it costs, but it still adds up. Okay. All right. So I already have the snapshot. I don't need to do any of that. The prompting is correct. Here's my objectives. Now, remember I said we want a handoff objective. The last objective in one bot's going to be the first objective in another bot. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to drag this all the way over here. And I'm going to I'm going to watch this. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just drag stuff over. I'm going to get rid of this. I want to be able to use this affirmation bot separately from the reception bot. So I'm going to do that by having priority 2 be these fields. But if they're already knows it, it's going to skip it. So if you send this to a new customer, it'll ask for the details, which is awesome. But if it comes through the other bot, it already knows those details. So it's going to skip these questions. Okay. So it's going to say, ask if they want an affirmation. Now, if they say no, we need to look for that. We'll do that later. But if they say yes, it's going to go through and just email phone. Then it's got to ask, we have about 5 minutes here. What kind, SMS, day or night? Okay. What kind? And we'll do custom fields tomorrow. There's 2 ways to do this. Affirmation they would like to receive. Now, if I don't have a field hooked up to it, I can do extra prompting and say the options are, and we'll make a custom field for this, but there's the manual way. It doesn't save the answer though, so it's not as awesome. The options are daily wellness, yoga quotes, cool yoga poses. Fine. Okay. Then the next question it's going to ask is SMS or email. SMS or email. Find out if they would like SMS or email. Find out if they would like to receive the affirmations via SMS or email. And we'll record that answer and we'll do that tomorrow. And then the next thing it's going to ask is day or night. What time? Find out if they want day time or night time affirmations. And we'll determine what those times are tomorrow. We'll finish this tomorrow. All right. So then it asks, Thanks, want to buy a yoga mat. I'm gonna make another bot for that, so we can also use that separately, and you'll see it. So we're gonna have 3 bots for this build, which is pretty standard. Okay, so then it's gonna say, oh, I hope I saved that. Make sure you save. Okay, so then the last question is going to be the handoff question is, thanks, you want to buy a yoga mat? And then the affirmation generator is going to not be in CloseBot, okay? But it'll be answered by CloseBot. That's more advanced. We'll do it tomorrow, maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday, I mean. Okay, so the last question it asks in the handoff is, thanks, no, yoga mat? Yoga mat, thank them and tell them their affirmation are on the way, then find out they want to buy a Hatha yoga mat. An official. And this prompt is a little long. That's okay for tonight. I like to have my prompts be about to here, a little long, so we could break it down into sub prompting. So we'll do that tomorrow. All right. So now we have this bot set up, and I know I'm going to need to make one more bot, which I'll set up right this second before we go. Any questions before I finish up here? Anyone? Andre?
Yeah, well, maybe one that you can think about for tomorrow.
What's up?
What if it seems like there's something missing at the beginning for me? You go to a fitness environment, they evaluate you first, they send you an evaluation, a report, let's say through email, and off of that evaluation, that's where the bot should start, should get involved, where he could scan the report and try and push what your trainer, instructor, you name it, what he's suggesting for you. So he could say, okay, first semester, you should be doing this. Trimester, I should say. The second, you should be doing this. You should start with yoga, finish with this, whatever. And that's where they can start. And then after that, book the service or these services.
That's a super expensive, complicated bot that I can't show right now. I'd charge a company $10,000.
That would be beautiful, though.
It would be beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm not going to build that. This is a complex bot build, but it's a very simple bot build in terms of the level of complexity a bot build can be. Yeah, what you're asking is
today.
Well, I mean, it's a good vision to have. I mean, I'm giving you all the basics. Look, 6 months ago or a year ago, no one knew how to use CloseBot, right? So everyone can learn how to do this, and everyone can try it and experiment. And I'll showcase more and more advanced techniques, like getting out of CloseBot and using ChatGPT. But the super advanced stuff you're talking about, you kind of got to figure that out on your own. I haven't done that yet, so I can't teach you.
No? Okay.
Not that.
Wait, Josh. So I didn't hear because I didn't hear, but when you put in your API for OpenAI, is that like you can like pass along a chat history and ask the bot to like?
Oh yeah, definitely. So when we're done. So to finish up, so after the reception bot is done, it send a summary email to client. So the client will get a summary of their conversation 2 ways, and I'll do this 2 ways. One is with CloseBot, and then I'll have ChatGPT summarize CloseBot because it could be a really long conversation.
Right. And ChatGPT through that API or through that API.
No, I'm not going to use ChatGPT to do the summary. I'm going to use ChatGPT and GoHighLevel. All this is going to happen in GoHighLevel.
Right. Okay. Not through CloseBot.
Nope.
Hey Josh, can I just ask a quick question? And how do you decide how you're splitting up the bots? Is it just essentially like you said, if you want it to be able to function on its own?
So what I've learned is the number says company says I need 2 bots. Like that doesn't mean anything anymore. As a matter of fact, very soon when CloseBot 2 comes out, it's the concept of I have a bot for this, I have a bot for that, is going to totally change. But for now, a company can need anywhere from 1 to 3 really to do even a basic reception bot, and maybe some extras, but I've been building bots like for the pressure washer. It has a dozen bots because each category has its own bot. So it could get really complicated. Times 12 clients, times 12 bots. You know, it's 144 bots in your CloseBot account. So that will also get easier to deal with when V2 comes out, which are hopefully going to be like in the next 4 to 6 months. So, you know, but you still need to do it this way for now and for it's going to be in beta and not everyone's going to have access to it. But that's the future, but we're preparing for now, and all this stuff will be good base to have when CloseBot provides more of like a builder, like its own like workflow builder, like you saw me doing in Lucidchart. You'll be able to do that directly in CloseBot and connect to an API, and then update the GoHighLevel database, and then go to a different. It's going to be totally different, but for now, this is pretty much what we have to do to route. But the answer is, if you're in business making bots for other people, you have to have the unlimited account. And then I just pass off the costs in the monthly. And I've made more money I've made money off affiliate. I mean, I don't really care about the cost of CloseBot. It's just the cost of doing business because it is not that expensive. And as long as you're making enough money to eat the cost of like 10 cents, 15 cents it might cost for the OpenAI fee and the CloseBot pennies fee. If you're spending a lot on that, it means you're getting a lot of conversations at least. You just got to close them to make it worthwhile. What's up? Who else has their hand raised? Oh, hey, what's up?
So if you want to add like a few more products, where would you do an upsell in GoHighLevel?
Well, are you talking like a ClickFunnels kind of upsell?
Well, I guess that would be like, so you got the
Good question.
yoga
So
mat,
we're
and you may want to offer a bundle package if they wanted to get like a mat and a not the mat also with a towel and maybe
I see
a
what you mean.
tumbler.
I'm not going to get into that right now. Doing something more advanced. So
Okay, I got you.
yeah, that's slightly more advanced than I can cover in the 5 hours. Well, I'll show you one product. There are ways to actually go out of CloseBot and connect to the Shopify accounts where the bot could be like, hey, what are you looking for? What do you like? What size? Blah, blah, blah. Then go hit the database and come back with an actual skewed link. So that's happening right now, but it requires getting out of CloseBot, doing all sorts of, not all sorts of, just a Zapier connection into the API to that database and out back into CloseBot. So if you could add Zapier or Make to your arsenal with CloseBot and GoHighLevel, the sky's the limit. You really need to use those two tools, Make or Zapier, to extend CloseBot out and hit databases and do all sorts of crazy stuff. I'm not going to do that in this class.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just didn't know if that was more of a GoHighLevel thing or that's
it is all GoHighLevel. So to do the advanced stuff, it all happens in GoHighLevel. Yeah, anything advanced from CloseBot all happens in GoHighLevel, and frankly, it all happens out of this step 2. In this step 2, everything comes out of step 2. So this is the default. You're going to see us build a whole thing here. This is where the magic happens with CloseBot, is in this step 2 process message.
Okay.
All right. Cool.
Sounds good.
Any more questions? Anyone? Okay, cool. Thank you all for coming, and we will pick up where we left off tomorrow and hopefully at least knock out a few of the bots tomorrow, because you don't have that much time to make something super duper complicated, but this will be really sweet. If you have any more questions, we'll open up with that tomorrow. Okay.
Thank
Thanks, everybody.
you.
Have a great
Love
night.
you, Josh. Thank
Okay, you too.
Bye-bye.
Bye, David.